Hey folks, this is Monk, and we are back with another episode of From the Canopy Film Show. And I'm joined as always with my co-host. We got Cornelius, aka Evil Corny. So we got a few films we're going to review for you guys, folks, and let's get right into it. So the first one I'm going to start off with is a film called Y2K. This is a horror comedy film, and the theme of this film: on the last night of 1999, two high school juniors crash a New Year's Eve party only to find themselves fighting for their lives when the terror of Y2K becomes a reality and all machines rise up against humanity. This film is directed by Kyle Mooney and starring Rachel Ziegler, Kyle Mooney, Jaden Martell, Julian Dennison, and Fred Durst also star in this, as well as many more. And what did you think about this film, Cornelius?
I saw this at midnight tonight. This is my first film to watch in 2025. I had fun with this. Might be one of the funnier films I've seen the last year. But it's pretty much the fears that we had about Y2K back in the day and the singularity or whatever, where all the machines and this all the machines come self-aware and or a virus kind of happens and all the machines are trying to combine and go around and kill people and assimilate them. Thought this was real cool. It had visually on a lot of the machines and everything that kind of looked like what we saw in the movie Virus back in the day. There was also a graphic novel, but I just seeing some of these machines just come together like this, you have that Mercurial figure in the background, and that kind of reminds me of a little bit of this, merging the machines or whatever. But
yeah, it's like that biomechanical look.
Yeah, biomechanical,
and it feels like most of the stuff here was also practical. They built it, on set for the people to interact with.
But Kyle Mooney himself being in this film, I laughed my ass off the parts that he was in. I guess this might be one of his first films, film directing, and I kind of can't wait to see what he comes up with next. He is on Saturday Night Live for several years, I guess around 2012 or 2013 to probably a couple of years ago when he got off the show. So he's always funny on the show, and I'm kind of glad that he's directing films.
Yeah, I didn't hate this film, man. I thought it had some fun moments. There were some. It's kind of a mishmash of things. We got this super bad type party going on that these kids are throwing. So there's that element. You get these teenagers running around, and there's also the theme of two friends. One's kind of a more popular, outgoing kid, and the other one's kind of more reserved. And they're kind of button heads and exploring the boundaries of their friendship. But then you got this crazy situation going on that we call, people kind of feared at the time. I remember this thing when it was happening. Like, I think I stayed in that New Year's, man. I might have been the first one, just in case, man. And I wasn't even thinking about the Y2K glitch. My concerns around that had been kind of, settled. As far as my computer, I just kept that off. You know what I'm saying? To the next day, but I didn't feel comfortable going out on that night, just considering it's a turn of a century kind of deal. Even though nothing happened, but I was having anxiety, so it's kind of playing on that, and I think it's cool though too, just with the practical effects thrown in here. The cast is cool. We kind of got like a who's who of this current younger generation, with Rachel Ziegler and even a Jaden Martell and Julian Dennison, who you might recognize as well from Deadpool Part 2. He was the chubby kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's in that, and he's also in Search for the Wilder People.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he is in that. So it's cool. It's fun seeing these guys, and then you got the whole the Lip Biscuit stuff thrown in because they were big at the time. It's all about the heat shakes, and Fred Durst is running around, acting a fool with them. So yeah, man, I think this is pretty cool. It's kind of crazy how the critics are kind of dumping on this on both sides, man. It seems this audience score is a little low too, but I don't think it's that, like if you walk into this just looking to have fun. I think you will have fun. It's not one of these films that's trying to take itself seriously. It's really trying to just give you a good time versus breaking, horror comedy grounds or anything. So, and I think it
And,
succeeds in that for the most part.
and like you said, it's kind of like super bad. It's kind of a throwback to like that early, turn of the century, turn of the 20th century, 21st century, teen comedy stuff. Like you
Yeah.
had Apple Pie and all, American Pie and all that stuff. It's kind of a throwback to that, but it kind of goes wild, and some of the stuff doesn't happen like you think it might have happened. It happens in those movies. I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
had a lot of fun with this film.
Yeah, it's definitely playing around with the material and it's kind of sending up the genre in general, as well as what we've seen in these kind of horror slashers, man. I think it was fun, man. I had a good
Yeah.
time with it. Okay. All right. So the next film is going to be a highly anticipated film from Robert Eggers. Seems like he's going to try to give us one every 2 years or so, which is cool. I like when directors want to work. And this is going to be kind of a reimagining of the Dracula slash Nosferatu story. And in this film, in the 1830s, a state agent, Thomas Hutter, travels to Transylvania for a fateful meeting with Count Orlok, a prospective client. In his absence, Hutter's new bride, Ellen, is left under the care of her friend Friedrich and Anna Harding. Plagued by horrific visions and an increasing sense of dread, Ellen soon encounters an evil force that's far beyond her control. And this film's cast includes Bill Skarsgård as the Count Orlok. We get Willem Dafoe in this as well. Lily Rose Depp plays Ellen. Emma Corrin, Nicholas Hoult is our Hutton character. Get Ralph Nelson and also Aaron Taylor Johnson. And there's some others in this. And I guess I'm gonna get into what I liked about it first, man. So I think this is probably one of the most beautiful films you're going to see this year. Like great care and detail was put into, just overall production design, man. I think the cinematography is really strong. The sets kind of evoke these places in this time, in this world, you know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of electricity, everything is candle lit, you know what I'm saying, or oil lamps. So it has that look, you know what I'm saying, to the scenery in this. And there are some cool visual elements, man. Like I really like what we get when Hutton is journeying up to Orlok's castle, man. And there are some cool vistas. Almost reminds me of when you turn on the Castlevania video game and you're just sitting there at the bottom looking up and you see this big castle out in the distance and your characters, he's got to go through all of that stuff to get to that castle. So there's some cool scenes. Like even when Orlok's chariot pulls up to him, man. So there are some really cool elements, I think, visually. I think for me, it was the disconnect to me was the emotion and that aspect put in this film. Like I found myself, it was hard for me to care about what was happening. Like I was totally in up until we meet Carl Orlok, but then it feels like the film has a hard time keeping me in that space. It felt like it was just being real distant with me as a viewer, and that made it hard for me to focus and keep my attention. I got kind of bored, through a lot of what was going on. I felt like there was weird choices with, how he was having these characters speak. And this film is longer than the original Nosferatu. I'm actually surprised Nosferatu comes in at the standard, movie time for something being made in 1922. Usually those films are shorter than what we get to know as our standard, 90 minutes. But with that expanded time, I don't think it really, was used well and added to the story in any significant way, So that's another thing that kind of dragged it out for me, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think it was stunning visually, but I felt empty, I don't think it delivered the story in a satisfying way. I don't think the story matched what was being done visually in this thing,
I thought it was an okay film. It's a lot of critics have been raving about this, but overall, like you said, visually, I love presentation. Like story wise, it just felt like everything was dragging in it. Even though there were some interesting parts, I like some of the gore that we get in it. Lily Rose Depp. A lot of people say she's miscast, but I think she did a good job in this film. Um, and I think the element of I guess Count Orloff being like they were kind of linked up before, or for a long period of time. I think that might have been something that might have been different than in the original and some of the other versions of this. But I couldn't really remember if I was. I don't know. I guess Dracula was Bram Stoker's Dracula was a reincarnation type deal, and I don't know. I guess she summoned him or something like that in this film, didn't she?
Yeah, that's what they were saying. They were kind of saying that he had reached out to her, like I was minding my own business, and this woman said something, and now I can't keep my mind off of her. I gotta have her now. Like that's kind of how it was portrayed to me, at least from Orlok's point of view. You know?
Yeah, it was like a demonic booty call in a way.
Yeah, so which was weird because like, why is she reaching out and summoning evil? Like, what's going on? Like, they didn't really explain that very well to me. It's like, damn, like you gotta be careful about your desires of women. You might summon an evil count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what was going on. But overall, I just think it's an okay film. I'll probably buy this at some point and give it a couple of rewatches. But as for like right now, I just thought it was just okay.
Yeah, it's out there, man. And I think even if anyone's complaining about Lily Rose, then there might be merit, and that's not going to be coming from her, in my opinion. It's just going to become from the way these characters are written. Like I feel like we've got this amazing cast, but they're also struggling to have much to work with because the story itself is very simple. You know, it's not a lot to it. I watched the original version. I don't want to compare these two, but my thing is, like I said, if you're going to add an extra 40 minutes of runtime to this thing, then it doesn't seem like we got 40 minutes more worth of material. It seems like we got almost the same exact stuff, but in a more drawn out way, which I don't think served it very well. Like even some of these characters, we got to expand it with what's his name? Emma Corrin in here and Aaron Taylor Johnson. They are in the original version, but here they've got expanded roles that really don't add anything except just to add more scenes to shoot or more lengthier scenes to shoot that don't really add much to the story. And as a result, like I didn't even recognize Emma Corrin, and she had one of my favorite roles earlier this year with Deadpool and Wolverine. And I'm like, you've got actors on this caliber that aren't really doing anything other than being eye candy at this point, you know. Even Willem Dafoe, I had fun with him, but he's even struggling. It doesn't even seem like he's in the same film as them. Like his portrayal is just on another level. I mean, he's just awesome regardless, but he's gonna find something here. It almost makes me feel like how I felt about who's my man in Dune? He keeps saying Elson. I'll give the what's his name? Bardem, Javier Bardem. I feel like he's acting. He's in that series on a different level than most of the other players, and that's just because of his acting chops. And I think that's what we're getting from Dafoe. So it's like the script part, the dialogue in that. I don't think it serves these actors to get them to be able to deliver their full potential. You know, for the most part, I do like what Skarsgård doing. He's crazy, man. This Orlok is off the chain, man. And his dialogue is really wild, man. You know what I'm saying? Like at points, and you just like, this is a wild stylistic choice, but it works. It almost reminds me of what's my man in the Bike Riders? The way he just
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, the way he just decided to throw this crazy accent on this character or this crazy style of talk, but it works, man. No.
Yeah. That's one thing about Robert Eggers. If you're a twin child in a film, you're not gonna survive that film with him.
Yeah. So I mean, I will say this, man.
Yeah, and which was some twin, kids, and and this one is twin kids,
Yeah. I will say this, man, even though I was underwhelmed by this, if you're going to watch it, go watch it now, man. Like, this is the best way you're going to be able to see it on the big screen, to soak in at least all the visuals, and whatever else you get out of it, that's just going to depend on your own, personal taste and what you like, So the last one we've got is going to be The Fire Inside, and this is a sports drama film. And this film is the story of Clarissa T-Rex Shields, a boxer from Flint, Michigan, who trained to become the first woman in her country's history to win an Olympic gold medal in the sport. She actually won two. But and I think she's the only U.S. boxing athlete to have won a medal in the past 20 some years. And this film is directed by Rachel Morrison. It stars Ryan Destiny as Clarissa Shields in this. We also get Brian Tyree Henry, who plays her coach, Jessica Grossi, Leonard Ware, Olunike Adeliyu. Hope I said that right. Day Audrey Aziza and Ivan D. Oso, as well as many others. We got a bunch of characters playing her extended family and other people, in this neighborhood. But I had a real good time watching this film, man. This thing, like I saw it, this was 2 days ago. I went to the AMC to see it. And it's still winter break, so it was actually kind of packed, man. So that was cool to see it with an audience, even though they were dry. What's up with these dry audiences, Cornelius? I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, Corey.
It's okay. It's okay to laugh, and emote a little bit. Just don't be flat out talking during a movie. But this is one of the ones where there were moments in there where I was chuckling and like, yeah, because this story is really cool, man. We got this girl. She's an underdog off rip just because of what she was born into, circumstances of her family. It's poverty, abuse, and she starts going into this boxing gym to climb out of that. And it's interesting when we meet the boxing coach played by Brian Tyree Henry. He's like, yeah, you can work out in here, but we don't train women. And she's insistent upon, getting trained. There's a little, he puts her in the ring and she steps up and he decides to take her under his wing. And, there's a time jump and we get to the point where she's actually, doing this competitively as I think she's about 16, teenager. And it's cool, man. Like we still have this struggle in the background. At one point, her dad gets out of prison. He's trying to get back into her life. She's butting heads with her mom. There's also other people, once they start seeing that she's worth something, she could be their ticket. People start acting, differently towards her. Some people try to take advantage. So you've got that going on, as well as just her, navigating this, as well as trying to, win the gold medal, man. And this is a pretty cool story, man. I definitely, appreciated what we got here, for the most part, man.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this film. This is a story I didn't have a clue about, and I'm kind of glad that there's a film about it, because we learned about this, about this boxer. Really thought it was an amazing story. It's kind of sad to where even though she won a gold medal, she comes back around and couldn't really get endorsements and stuff, just because it's not something that women get endorsed. Well, yeah, that women don't really get endorsements for. But it looks, in the film, she gets discouraged, and then she, kind of steps up and, wins the second gold medal, on that next Olympics. Like I said, I really enjoyed this film. Brian Tyree Henry is like one of my favorite actors right now. I can't wait to see him when he just pops up in a film, but on a film, yeah. I've been seeing this trailer last couple times I've been going to theaters and everything, and I really just thought this was just going to be one of the ones that would come through and just be like a flat movie. But I hope like during the award season this is recognized, because I really enjoyed it. Some real good acting. This is I guess the director Rachel Morrison's first film that she's directed, but she has been a cinematographer on things like Dope and Black Panther, and she might have won an award for Black Panther, if I'm right. Yeah. Did she get best cinematographer?
I don't know.
She might be one of the first females to win a cinematography Oscar, if I'm right.
Oh, I'd have to look that up. But yeah, I do. I love this thing, man, because I think I made a post about this. Boxing is one of the sports that is really great for cinematography. Just the way that you can focus on the individual athletes and really get into their psyche, their makeup, So I think this cool. And also this thing kind of subverted typical structure a little bit because it doesn't end with her getting the gold medal. You know, we still got there's a lot of film left. You know, and addressing some of the stuff you mentioned about the women, having opportunities as men, and and this is crazy. This is a story. This is a person that I knew about. But I didn't know the full story. I definitely heard about T-Rex, and I knew she was a big champion. But getting the details and background of her story, it was just really cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially with this being a woman fighter. I mean, it's crazy. Think about that, man. Like most of these films are definitely hitting, unless they're made on the super cheap or there's some kind of that what is it, straight to video type stuff, but look at Girl Fight, man, $1 Million Baby, and then we got Fire on Inside, and think about the other films that came out recently, the Creed series, the one with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's like it's hard to make one of these films and it really be bad. Of The Fighter with Christian Bale, like it's hard to make one of these films and do terrible. So I think this sport has given us a lot of great films, cinematically, probably more than any other sport. I mean, there's a few good basketball films out there. There's a few good football films out there, but I don't think they're touching the overall quality of what we've gotten from boxing films, over the years. If you go back to James Earl Jones, Great White Hype, things like that. My bad. Yeah, but even
Great White Hype was a Samuel Jackson film. Yeah.
It's comedy, but that's still a good film too. Diggstown. What was that one? Was that the name of it? Diggstown with what's the name? I can't remember his name.
Lou Gossett Jr. and
Lou Gossett Jr. Yeah. So this thing is just it's right to make good films out of, man. Boxing is cool, but definitely check this one out, man. This was a great film. I had a good time, and I'm looking forward. I want to check it out again too. Now that I know, what to expect, I could definitely see myself putting this on in the background and just, reliving some of these moments. There's one shot in here that blew me away because now cinematography is in the discussion right now, especially because of Nosferatu. But there's a shot in this movie where she goes to China for a fight. She's just in her hotel room looking out into the city, and all we see is the side of her face, and then we see the neon glow from the city just shining off her face. I was like, man, this is beautiful. This should be the poster right here, dude. Like this, it's just such a great shot, man. Watching this, man. But they did a good job with this, man.
I was wrong. She was Rachel Morrison was nominated. Was the first woman nominated for Oscar in cinematography for Mudbound.
That's crazy, man. Yeah. How long have we been doing these Academy Awards?
I know.
How many films? And that's wild. That is really wild. But yeah, I think that's it, folks, man. We're going to wrap this one up. You can go check out some more movies, and hopefully we'll talk about those movies you've seen when we come back here. I do plan on checking out Sonic 3. I still got that on my list. And also The Lion King 3. I didn't rush to see those because I knew those were going to be in theater a lot longer than some of these other things that I wanted to see. So sometimes you got to strategize it like that, But yeah, we're going to be back soon. Check us out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Leave some comments on these reviews. Let us know what you think about these films that we're talking about. And you can catch me on Monkey Blood or at Monkey Blood on Twitter and Instagram.
My name is Cornelius Burrows. You can find me on Facebook as Cornelius Burrows, on Instagram, Cornelius Burrows, on Blue Sky as Evil Corny. And I'm also Cornelius 1976 on TikTok. By the way, Corey, between the last show and this show, we didn't get to discuss the Superman trailer, and I was just wondering your thoughts on that.
I'm hyped. I'm very into that. I'm curious to see what's gonna, I can't wait to see this film, man. It's coming out. What's the date? June or is it July?
It's July 11th.
Yeah, I'm there, man. I'm there. I'll probably go see this film. Like, I'm gonna just max out my AMC thing. I got 3 films a week. I'm gonna just go ahead and block them all 3 out for Superman, because I feel like I'm gonna go back to back on this. I think James Gunn is going to deliver. The visuals are what I'm looking for, and I love the fact that he embraces all of it, man. Like the fact that we got crypto in the trailer, like most people are gonna run away from the super dog, yo. But no, that was the thing in the comic books. Like, why
Yeah.
not? And I trust James Gunn to make it work, man. Put it this way, bro. If they put like a crypto plushie out, that thing's gonna go platinum. You know, there's gonna be so many crypto. He's gonna be everywhere, man. He's
I
gonna be
think I
in your
would see that
McDonald's.
crypto pussy like on your shelf behind you.
It's gonna be in your Happy Meals, man. He's gonna be in Funko Pops. They're gonna make crypto throw pillows. Like it's everything. Crypto mugs, man. T-shirts. That dog is gonna probably make them a few hundred million. You know?
Yeah, I really love the trailer. I probably watched it like 20 times before I shared it on the Facebook group. You know, just because I was just that hype. I love that they have like supporting characters that's actually heroes that probably are gonna play little minor roles in this. But I'm just glad that with this Superman film, we don't just have an isolated world. You know, it doesn't have to be the MCU to where we want to make the Avengers. Start the Avengers or rush anything into like the Avengers, but at least we acknowledging that it's other super billions in this world. Like you said, having crypto in it, something from the comics, character from the comics. You know, majority of the time, like in the past, they've always apologized for having like goofy stuff like this in comic book films. I'm glad that James Gunn is embracing this, and even though it might come across as hokey, a lot of this stuff is still kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? It's always been cool. People are reading comics.
Yeah, there's a few things we got coming up. Den of Thieves 2, that's January. So that's opening next week. We also got what else is coming out?
I really don't think I like Den of Thieves 1 though.
It was okay. I didn't love it, but it's passable.
And what else Gerard Butler been up to, really?
I liked him, and he's got Plane, and then we got Plane 2 on the way, I think. I think we got Plane 2 on the way, and he did. Was it Paris Is Falling? Some city fell down.
Again. He was in those films, but I always kind of thought that he would have been. I always thought that he would be a bigger actor than he is.
Wolfman also. I want to see that.
Wolfman looks like it's gonna be cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that's it, man. So yeah, we get out of here. Gonna catch y'all next time, folks, and we'll be back. Yeah, boom. So I'm gonna end this